Good? It's nice seeing you all. It's nice seeing everyone.
It's good to be seen.
Good to be seen. Good. Well, we have it's a little bit of a cold evening this evening, and it's nice to be here in the Embrace community with everyone, even if it's a smaller crowd with us joining here today. So we're going to start our service on page 6 of our Siddurim. Page 6. I'm going to make sure our live streams are all up, and they are. Page 6 of our Siddurim with Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei El Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bolechem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei El Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei El Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seidchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei El Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Stephen, would you like to lead us in the brachas over the candles for today? The lights have already been lit, but you can still say the blessings.
Come, let us welcome Shabbat.
May its radiance illuminate our hearts.
Light is a symbol of the divine.
The eternal is my light and my salvation.
Light is the symbol of the divine within us.
The human spirit is the light of the eternal.
Light is the symbol of the divine law.
For the mitzvah is a lamp, and the Torah a light.
Light is the symbol of Israel's mission.
I, the eternal, have made you a covenant people, a light to the nations.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher k'dashanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Blessed are you, O eternal our God, who makes our lives holy through divine mitzvot, and has commanded us to kindle the Shabbat lamp.
Amen.
May the Eternal bless us with Shabbat joy.
Amen.
May the Eternal bless us with Shabbat peace.
Amen.
May the Eternal bless us with Shabbat holiness.
Amen. Thank you. We're now going to turn to page 9 of our Siddurim for the Hadodi. Lechai doidi li grakala yada 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 b'nei Shabbat. Nikabela lechai doidi li grakala yada yada b'nei Shabbat. Nikabela shamor b'zachor b'dibor echad. Hishmeyanu echad uchad. Adonai echad u'shamo echad. Lishem tiferet v'litihila. Lechai doidi li grakala yada b'nei Shabbat. Nikabela lechai doidi li grakala yada b'nei Shabbat. Nikabela li grak Shabbat lehu v'nelchad. Ki hi mekor habracha merosh mikedem nesuka sof ma'asa b'matra tehila lechai doidi li grakala yada b'nei Shabbat. Nikabela lechai doidi li grakala yada b'nei Shabbat. Nikabela Hi ori, kiva orech kumi ori, shir daberi, kavod Adonai, alai negila, lechai doidi li grakala yada b'nei Shabbat. Nekabela Alecha Doidi Likrakala Yadada Pene Shabbat. Nekabela. Now we face the entrance or exit of our sanctuary. Boi v'shalom atzeret bala gam b'simcha u'b'tzola toch emune am segula boi kala lechai doidi likrakala yadada p'nei Shabbat Nekabela alechai doidi likrakala yadada p'nei Shabbat Nekabela. Remain standing on page 11 for the Hatzi Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah B'yom Divra Hirutei B'yamich Malchutei B'cha hayechon u'b'yoymechon u'chayedecho Beit Yisrael Ba'agala u'b'zman kari Yameru Amen Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Le'olam Elol Me'elmaya Yisparach Yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitbar, v'yitraman, v'yitnasei, v'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shamei kurishab brechu, le'ela min kol yirchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, daniran mi'alma, yemeru, amen. Remain standing for the Baruch Hu on page 12. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Page 13 will join together. Eternal God, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass and not your glory depart from us, help us to become co-workers with you, and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai, ha-ma'ariv aravim. Blessed are you, O Eternal, who brings on the evening. We'll wait for our other guests to join us. Hello. Hi. So we'll join together on page 14 at the bottom of the page with eternal love. With eternal love, you've loved your people, the house of Israel. Torah and commandments, statutes and judgments you've taught us. Therefore, O eternal our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will discuss your statutes and rejoice in the words of your Torah and your commandments forever. For they are our lives and they lengthen our days, and we will meditate upon them day and night. You will never remove your love from us forever and ever. Blessed are you, O Eternal, who loves God's people, Israel. Page 13 will join together for the Shema prayer. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kivod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. You may be seated. We'll join together now on page 16 for the V'ahavta. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'eleh asher anochi mesavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinatan levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shitecha b'beitecha u'letecha b'derech u'shachbecha u'vkumecha u'kshatam li'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'ktavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kirushim lelolechem Ani Adonai Elohechem אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem, and next. Page 14 will join together for the responsive reading. Eternal truth is that you alone are God, and there is none else.
May the righteous of all nations rejoice in your love and exult in your justice.
Let them beat their swords into plowshares.
Let them beat their spears into pruning.
Let nation not lift up sword against nation. Let them study war no more.
You shall not hate another in your heart. You shall love your neighbor as yourself.
Let the stranger be in your midst to you as the native, for you were once strangers in the land of Egypt.
From the house of bondage we went forth to freedom, so let all be free to sing with joy.
Page 18 will join together for Mi Chamocha. Mi Chamocha Ba'alim Adonai, Mi Chamocha Nedar B'Kodesh, Nora Tehilot Osei Felen, Machutecha Ra'u Banecha B'Kiyam Livnei Moshe, Ze Eli Anu V'Amru, Adonai Yimloch Le'olam Va'ed, V'ne'emar Kifra Adonai et Yaakov, U'gelom Yad Hazach Mimenu, Baruch Ata Adonai, Gal Yisrael. Page 19 will join together for the responsive reading. Cause us, O eternal our God, to lie down in peace and to awaken us each morning with life renewed with strength. Spread over us the holy shelter of your peace.
Help us to order our lives by your counsel, and lead us in the paths of righteousness. Be a shield about us, protecting us from hate and war, from pestilence and sorrow.
Curb also within us the inclination to do evil, and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Guard our going out and our coming forth with life, with peace, from this time forth, forever.
Blessed are you, O Eternal, whose holy shelter of peace is spread over us, over all God's people, Israel, and over Jerusalem.
Page 20, Vishamru. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, Lasot et ha-Shabbat ledoretan berit olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, Lasot et ha-Shabbat ledoretan berit olam. B'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, Lasot et ha-Shabbat ledoretan berit olam. Ki she'et yamim asa Adonai, Asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et haaretz, v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, Lasod et ha-Shabbat ledoretan berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat v'yinafash, Shabbat v'yinafash, Shabbat v'yinafash, v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, Lasot et ha-Shabbat ledoretan berit olam. We now rise for tefillah for the Amidah prayer on page 21. Adonai sepatati tahu fi yagi tehilatecha, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor B'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לפני בניכם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע עמכם, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומציל אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושם הקדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Read often silently until page 21. We'll now join together for Oseh Shalom on page 29. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru imru amen. Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ya'aseh shalom. Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Yahweh Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Yahweh Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Yahweh Yisrael. Yemeru, Amen. Good Shabbos, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. It's great to be here. Great seeing everyone here this evening. This week we're in Parshat Mishpatim, and in our previous Torah portions we were described the great miracles performed by Hashem for the people of Israel. This week we turn to the description of some of the laws that were contracted to the Israelites for the great miracles performed before them. For a moment, though, let's imagine that we were once with our ancestors where they stood, that they had these miracles that were delivered upon them, and now we stood poised to wander the desert. At this important juncture of time, Moshe dispensed upon the people of Israel a set of laws. What did these laws include? This week's Torah study will include some of those most salient of examples, and some of them include the following from Exodus chapter 21, verses 1 through 5, that describes the constraints to slavery. And there it states, "These are the rules that you shall set before your people. When you acquire a Hebrew slave, that person shall serve 6 years and shall be set free in the 7th year without payment. And if a male slave came single, then he shall be leaving single. If he had a wife, he shall leave with her as well." Then from Exodus 21, verses 13 through 16, there is a description of what is kidnapping and what may be considered manslaughter. Here the text describes, "When one party schemes against another and kills through treachery, you shall take that person from my very altar to be put to death." Then in Exodus 21, verses 17 through 21, there is a very clean description of what may constitute disciplining for children. There, it says, in very harsh terms, "One who insults one's father or mother shall be put to death." You hear that, David? Harsh terms right there. "And one who strikes their own father or mother may also be put to death." Finally, Exodus chapter 21, verse 22 describes women's health in some broad terms. There it describes, "When 2 or more parties fight, and one of them pushes a pregnant woman and they miscarriage as a result, but no damage ensues, the one responsible shall be fined according to the woman's husband, and the payment shall be based upon their reckoning." One of my rabbinic colleagues, that is Rabbi Daniel Wopi, brought to attention over social media this past week the irony of how our text of this week endorses slavery, but elsewhere outlaws the consumption of shellfish. For many secular Jews, this irony demonstrates a flaw in our religion. But I'd like to present a different approach. After all, I'm a rabbi, and I would not fall under that category of demonstrating that our faith has all sorts of challenges. I think that it has solutions. And our text of this week undoubtedly does endorse some practices that we do find in the modern context abhorrent. For instance, slavery and child abuse in this week's Torah description, in this week's Torah portion, are described in very clean terms. Yet at the same time, our tradition has evolved rabbinically, and in such ways, these verses seem very active to our present experience. For instance, the verse told in Exodus chapter 21, verses 17 through 21, describe what is very well known in rabbinic literature as the rebellious child. Yet the very enactment made through the rabbinic period until the modern period voids the very execution of children by parents. So good news for you, David. Good news for all children. Yet another example from our Torah portion of this week, which describes how if a woman miscarries, the responsible party should be responsible for monetary fines, has very important implications for Judaism. These verses have been used in the modern period to underscore women's and reproductive health initiatives that place a woman's life at a precedent over unborn children in Jewish tradition. Furthermore, this verse also underscores the notion and principle in Jewish tradition and custom that Jewish life begins upon birth. The verses of this week have no doubt faced challenges when contextualized in modern language, yet our tradition has evolved and made these verses more relevant to our present being and experience. So may these verses and the verses of this week continue to evolve for ourselves and be relevant in this year and the years ahead, always contextualize for ourselves. Can you hear at 7? May it be God's will. Amen.
Amen.
So in just a moment, we're going to turn to the Misha Bera prayer at the very back of our Siddurim. Misha Bera can be found at the very back of our Siddurs. I'll be reciting names that have been provided to me off of our Misha Barak list, and if there are any additional names anyone would like to have added to the Misha Barak list, please include those names after the names have been read aloud. I'll ask you to share with those names. On our Misha Barak list for today, we have the following names: Edmund Mitchell Wadika, Sylvia Bat Margalit, Ali Souza, Suzanne Wadika, Ruth Douse, Jerry Douse, Vicky Hyatt, Bill Natras, Miriam Mendel Ben Shira, Nachman Ben Malka, Shlomo Leib Malka, Alan Lewis, Ellen Yokelson, Jerry Yokelson, Russ Paneri, Jeffrey Stein, Jeffrey Koffler, Aaron Evers, Claudia Schachter, Courtney Zabadik, Linda Bloom, Elaine Blitz, Linda Wilson, Rhoda Jacobs, Bucky Bunnell, Linda Gotev, Sylvia Stern, Myra Levis, Evie Schneider, Dr. Sharon Anita Wander, Sonia Richmond, Susan Skovernik, Fran Sawitz, Marge Estrin, Yisrael Reuven, Ben Devorah Alka, Stuart Kaufman, Ivan Radowitz, Ellen Townsend, Sharon Berman, Mindel Bela, Bat Sura Rivka, Bob Sawitz, Yuvan Zamos, Michael Berkowitz, Asher Ephraim, Chana Bat Sarah Rivka. Are there any additional names anyone would like to have added to our Misha Berach list?
Where do I start? Marcia Ponce.
Marcia Ponsky.
Ponce.
Ponce.
Yes.
Ponce. I add.
Linda Belford.
Linda Belford.
And Sharon Beckus.
Sharon Beckus. Are there any additional names anyone would like to have added to the Misha Berach list? If not, please rise as the ark is being opened. Once again, the Misha Berach may be found at the very back of our Siddurim. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor Chabrecha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishe Beirach Imotenu Mekor Chabrecha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We will remain standing for the Elenu now on page 30 of our Siddurim. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, l'teit gidula liyotzeh breshit, shelo asanu ki ya'aratzot, velo samanu ki mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam kalkeinu kachem, v'gor aleinu ki chalcham onam, v'anachnu korim, Umishtachadim u'moedim lifnei melech malchei hamachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu notei shamayim v'yoser haaretz u'moshev yikaro b'shamayim mima'al u'shchinatu zo b'godei meroimim hu Eloheinu ein od emet malkeinu efezulato kakatu betorato v'yadata hayom ve'oshevota el abedecha ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim b'shamayim mima'al V'yal haaretz mitzachad ein od. Now turn to page 31. We therefore hope in you, O eternal our God, soon to behold the splendor of your might. Then will false gods vanish from the earth, and the idols will be utterly cut off to heal the world through the sovereignty of the Almighty. Then will all acclaim you as their God, and forsaking evil, turn to you alone. Let all who dwell on earth acknowledge that unto you every knee must bend, and every tongue swear loyalty. Before you, O eternal our God, let them humble themselves. To your glorious name let them give honor. Let all accept the yoke of your dominion, that you may rule over them soon and forever. For the dominion is yours, and you rule in glory. As it is written, the Eternal will reign forever and ever. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. You may be seated. Our thoughts now turn to those who have passed from our community. I'll be reciting names from our yahrzeit list, and after the yahrzeit list, I'll be reciting names from our community who have recently passed. After the names have been read aloud, if there are any names that you're observing a yahrzeit for or in the period of Shloshim of, please share with us those names so that we as one community may pray for the elevation of their neshama, of their soul, to Shemayim, to the heavens above. Recently passed from our community are the following names: Steve Goldblum, Jacob George Coble, Peter Lozana, Stan Perlman, David Schneider, Raphael Marcus, Florence Schneider, Sylvia Tannenbaum, Florence Guttmacher, Philip Moret, Bruce Fleischig. Our yahrzeits for today include the following names: Bernice Peck, Stanford Lebos, Benjamin Ginsberg, Maurice Cohen, Simeon Barron, Bertha Ratchik, Lucille Frederick, Bernice Razinowitz, Dick Kazin, William Natras, Ann Bruce, Martin Schwartz, Esther Spielberg, Solomon Nemias, Max Sklarner, Harry Rothberg, Harvey Marcus, Leonard Suslowitz, Louise Bodak, Nadine Schwartz, Marge Francisco, Harold Levinson. Are there any additional names anyone is observing a yahrzeit for in the period of Shoshima?
Lee Benner.
Lee Benner.
Stephen Rosowski.
Stephen Rosowski.
Okay, Ben Rodriguez,
Ben Rodriguez.
Fred Kellogg,
Fred Kellogg.
Judy Merman,
Judy Merman.
Donald Smith. Thank you.
No.
And Larry Burshot.
Larry Burshot.
Bridget Abruzzo.
Bridget Abruzzo.
And Peter Ibsen.
Peter Ibsen. If it is your custom, please rise for the mourner's Kaddish on page 33. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'alma divra hirutei v'yaniv malchutei, v'chayechon u'v'yonechon u'chayei v'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala u'bizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mivarach le'olam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei l'kudashah b'reichu le'ela mikol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata damiran b'yalma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya v'chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav Hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort all who are bereaved. And let us say, Amen. You may be seated. Now have a moment for some short and brief but uplifting announcements. I think Marilyn has it today. She's coming.
Did Liz write it out for you?
Of course.
Indeed.
Okay.
It's up to you. Sure. Hey, if I have to, I have to. Are they seeing me? I guess they are. Hi. Liz wasn't quite up to it, so I'm her substitute. Saturday, February 18th, Torah study and worship, virtual and in person. Torah study starts at 9:30, worship starts at 10:15. Havdalah and game night is February 25th. David, put it on your calendar. 6:30, potluck and snack night. RSVP to the office by February 24th by 12 noon. New member Shabbat and Shabbat Across America is March 3rd at 6:30 p.m. Service will be followed by bagel and salads. Dinner is, are you ready for this? $5. Service, and it's open to all. Please register for dinner on the weekly email. Purim Cafe, Monday, March 6th, from 6 to 6, Monday, March 6th, at 6:30 p.m. Okay. Music is Megillah reading and Purim Spiel. It's dairy and vegetarian potluck dinner. More info on the weekly email. It's no cost, but you need to RSVP to the office by noon, Friday, March 3rd. Purim baskets are on sale. Please order the baskets through the weekly email, and the deadline is February 27th. Now, I want to compliment the Social Action Committee, and we have Sharon and Erwin right here. Jerry, I believe, is probably watching. The blood drive was an exceptional success. 39 pints of blood were collected, which the Red Cross tells us will help to save 117 lives. Okay, now, getting back to some of our students. The kindergarten to second will lead service on March 10th, Friday, March 10th, and student Shabbat is March 18th. And with that, have a good Sabbath.
Shabbat shalom. All right, so we're going to join together on page 34 of our siblings. I'll take that for tomorrow's announcements.
Sure.
Page 34 for Adon Olam. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nira Li'et Nasa V'Hevzo Kol Azai Melech Shamo Nigra Li'achat Rei Kilo Takol Levado Iloch Nora Vehu haya, vehu hoven, vehu yeh b'tif ara, vehu echad v'yein sheni, lehamshilo lehachbira, v'li reshit, v'li tachlit, v'lo ha'oz v'hamizra, vehu eli, v'chaya goali. Betzor hevli v'yetzara, v'hu nisi umanosli, menat kosi v'yom ekra, v'ya'ado afkid ruchi, v'yet ishan v'ya'ira, v'im ruchi geviati, Adonai li v'lo Good Shabbos, everyone. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. I'd like to invite up who would like to volunteer for our Kiddush as well as for our Chamotzi. Stephen? All right, it's me, Stephen. David, you can join in as well. So,
Okay.
all right.